This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Now at 7, a bus driver crisis for the state's largest school district. Good evening and thanks for being here with us. I'm Mark Mullins. 95 bus drivers and monitors called off at the last minute around 5:30 this morning, prompting the district to cancel all bus service. There are 32,000 students roughly enrolled in IPS. About 14,000 made it to school today. That's less than half. About 22,000 rely on school buses to get to school. The district is moving to a new transportation company for the 2020-2021 school year, and the superintendent says she thinks that's what led to the call-offs today. And while some parents were left scrambling to find ways to get their kids to and from school, other parents say they stand with the drivers.
Kudos. I commend you because I don't feel like that was right. You know, I feel like some of them been driving for 20 plus years. Now all of a sudden they got to reapply for another position for another company. That's not right.
IPS officials and union leaders say they will be working throughout the weekend to have a backup plan ready for Monday if needed. Our Rafael Sanchez sat down with the superintendent asking whether IPS will fire employees who do this again. We're also hearing the challenges the district had to overcome this morning.
Late last night, they began to get indicators around the same time that we did that the number of calls was ticking up a little bit out of the normal range of just your normal, sick days or vacation days or whatnot. And certainly made concerted efforts to inform and recommend to folks that they not take this action. And so to have this number of drivers in attendance still decide to take the day off and impact our services in this way, despite what they were told by union leadership, what they knew what that would mean for the district, again, is reprehensible, is not acceptable.
The district is currently looking at ways to change how it delivers bus service in the fall of this year.
Correct.
Will this action in any way change your mind? Will you say, we're going to go back to the old way, or are you moving forward with the plan?
Yeah, we are moving forward with the plan. Our board approved that plan in January. We are working with our new partner, First Student, along with AFSCME and union leadership, and along with our employees to create as smooth of a transition as we can. Change is hard. That is undeniable. We know this transition is difficult, and we understand that not everybody was happy with that decision. All of that understandable and okay. But what isn't okay is to make a decision like this today that negatively impacts so many of our families and our students.
But if those workers choose again, they're not sick.
Yeah.
And yet again, 103 decide that they're just not going to show up. Will you call for their dismissal under the union rules?
We are able to do that with the collective bargaining agreement that we have signed. Then it would be well within our rights to do so, and we would make that decision at that time.
Ma'am, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Right now, we have a digital extra posted on the IndyChannel.com. Rafael's complete conversation with the IPS superintendent, including her concern for students who missed key state-required testing and those who missed meals today. A man is fighting for his home. The Department of Transportation wants to buy a portion of his property to widen the road to make it safer. But he says his home has already been hit by cars 3 times, and he's asking how taking more of his property away will help keep his family safer. RTV6's Stephanie Wade is working for you in Rushville tonight.
These sticks mark the 60 feet of property in the right-of-way that the state wants to take from Jared Orum's home, making State Road 26 that much closer to his front door. He's concerned about safety, considering his home has already been hit by a car 3 different times.
Took our house 7 inches off the foundation, and it took 2 bulldozers and a bunch of people to put it back together.
Orum put these hay bales in front of where one car went flying through the window years ago, serving as a barrier where his kids sleep now. When he heard INDOT would be buying part of their property to widen the road, he was concerned. Plans for the project place the road just 34 feet away from their front door.
From what I've been told, State Road 26 through here is one of the more dangerous roads in all of the state. And it's only going to get worse when they widen it.
Orem feels the state offered him too low of price for the property they were buying and won't buy the home for what he feels it's worth. He'd like to settle with the state and move his family into a different house. INDOT tells me they use a variety of procedures to determine property value and ensure public acquisition is fair and equitable. They also allow for landowner negotiation. But Orem says that just isn't happening. He's hired an attorney to fight for this. Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
An Indiana company is closing after 60 years in business. More than 300 Hoosiers will be laid off when Kaido Foods closes their fresh cut manufacturing operation. The company filed a warn notice with the Indiana Department of Workforce Development today. Kaido says the layoffs of 333 employees will begin sometime toward the end of April. The company did not list a reason for the closure. They also say those employees will not be offered jobs at another facility.
Our Weather Now camera tells the story. Looking to the west, you can see White River, and you can see the walking bridge over toward the Indianapolis Zoo and White River Gardens. The snow showers letting up in intensity in the metro area. This is what's left as it drops to the south and east, but a little burst of heavier snow that will limit visibility and have maybe a brief cover is moving between Columbus and Seymour, and then from Greensburg on toward Cincinnati, impacting I-65 in southern Indiana, I-74 in the southeast portion of the state. Other than a few flurries, we're drying out tonight, and we're definitely going to cool off. 28, if that isn't cool already. Temperatures will be in the teens in the morning. There are your metro temperatures tonight with the northwest wind around 10. The clouds are next to go. Those will gradually break up by 11 o'clock tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, 24 degrees. But as we wake up in the morning, temperatures will be in the teens and skies will have cleared out. That will lead to some sunshine. Try to warm things up during the day on Saturday. There are your single-digit wind chill temperatures. We'll talk about the warmer side of my forecast coming up.
Well, February is American Heart Month, and it's a time that when we go Red for Women. RTV6 is a proud sponsor of the American Heart Association Go Red for Women Luncheon. Amanda and I emceed the event this morning at the Westin downtown. Go Red for Women is a national movement to end heart disease and stroke in women. Medical professionals say every woman needs to know their numbers, know the signs of heart disease, and ask for help if you need it. At our Go Red for Women luncheon, we held a fashion show, a silent and live auction, and women told stories of struggling with the disease. The money raised today is going to the American Heart Association. It's a simple part of everyday life, pulling in and out of your neighborhood. But people living in one local neighborhood say it's not so simple for them. It's actually dangerous. Panhandlers are part of the landscape in downtown Indy, but now state lawmakers want to restrict where they can be seen, and that is not sitting well with some groups. Details ahead when RTV6 News at 7 continues.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Well, tonight, people living in a northwest side neighborhood say pulling out onto a very busy street every day is not only dangerous, but it's also very scary. Tonight, RTV6's Nicole Griffin is working for you, finding out what drivers can do to voice their concerns to the city and what it would take to actually make that area safer.
It was just really scary, and for a while, I didn't want to even pull out of the neighborhood, you know, because it's just like, what if that happens again? Like,
every day, Danielle Wilson is reminded of this crash. That's because it happened in 2018 as she was pulling out of her neighborhood. She lives in the West 86th Street subdivision just off of I-465. Danielle says traffic is heavy most times of the day on 86th Street and often gets backed up during rush hour, making it hard to pull out.
People get agitated, you know, you just have to sit there and wait. People on 86th Street don't care. You know, they're just trying to get where they're going. We're just trying to get where we're going.
I reached out to the Indianapolis Department of Public Works, and a spokesman says perhaps one of the most challenging factors of getting in and out of this neighborhood is there was only one entrance.
They dart out because they've been sitting there for a while. They just take the chance that they can get.
After this crash on February 15th, neighbors started a conversation on Nextdoor asking what can be done to make the area safer. I took their concerns to the city. A DPW spokesman says at this time a traffic signal is not warranted. That is because one of the standards for a traffic signal is the need to facilitate traffic at all times of the day, not just during the morning or evening rush hour.
I would definitely say slow down around the entrance to our neighborhood because, again, there are people that are trying to get out. There are people that are trying to come in. Just like be aware.
Working for you on the northwest side, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Well, DPW says it considers the following factors when determining whether a traffic signal is needed. Traffic count at various times of the day, a complexity of turning motions at a given intersection, and whether it would create a smoother flow between multiple intersections. They say drivers can always submit their safety concerns to request Indy or the Mayor's Action Center. A bill making its way through the State House could crack down on panhandling in the state and will likely face legal challenges if it becomes law. A House committee voted to insert an amendment into a long criminal justice bill that would make it illegal to panhandle within 50 feet of a parking meter, parking garage, ATM, restaurants, or public monuments. Those who spoke in favor of the amendment say it's important to protect visitors and tourists, but the ACLU said it would be unconstitutional.
You walk out of the restaurant and there's somebody right in front of you. When you turn around from an ATM machine and there's someone right there saying, hey, I need money, help me. And you haven't put your wallet away. You haven't put your wallet back in your purse, back in your pocket, wherever it may be. And I think about how those folks are vulnerable.
This is an attempt to drive people away from engaging in this activity, which we don't like. And one of the things that the First Amendment has stood for since its inception is that sometimes we as a society have to tolerate things we don't like.
Well, the bill still needs to be passed by the House next week. Indigo will buy 13 new diesel buses as the new electric buses continue to underperform. The organization says the new buses will be in place in June and will cost no more than $7.5 million. The electric buses meant for the Red Line have not met the range nor battery performance as promised by the manufacturer. Indigo has not paid any money for the electric buses. Coming up here on RTV6, hand sanitizer is more popular than ever, right? Largely because of the coronavirus outbreak, but that popularity could lead to a big problem. We will explain coming up.
Snow showers are on the move out of the state. They'll cross the Ohio River here later this evening. What's moving in for the weekend? Some big changes.
Motion for just $259 a month.
Coronavirus fears have sparked a mad dash for cleaning products. Retailers like CVS and Walgreens say they've noticed an increase in demand for hand sanitizer, cleaning wipes, and face masks. The demand is so great, officials at CVS are worried there will be a shortage. Bath & Body Works says it's also seeing a spike in demand for hand sanitizer. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says the best way to combat coronavirus is by washing your hands thoroughly with soap and water. The House of Representatives just passed legislation to put broad restrictions on flavored vaping and tobacco products. The bill would ban flavored tobacco products, including menthol-flavored vaping items and cigarettes. It follows a ban on most flavored vaping products announced by the White House last month. Democrats were unhappy with the ban, which left menthol-flavored products intact and allowed for tank-based products in vape shops in every flavor. Most House Republicans voted against the bill. The legislation is not expected to pass in the Republican-controlled Senate. In the race for the White House, we're just a day away from the South Carolina primary. Former Vice President Joe Biden is staking his campaign on a victory, while Senator Bernie Sanders cements his status as national frontrunner, and other candidates look ahead to Super Tuesday. ABC's Trevor Ault has the latest now from Columbia.
Less than 24 hours until voting opens in South Carolina, and former Vice President Joe Biden has bet big on the state in hopes of righting the ship after disappointing results so far.
We need real action in the White House, not more lies. We need a president who stands for the truth over fiction and facts and science over fiction.
The former VP has the highest support in the most recent South Carolina polls, as well as some key endorsements. But our new ABC News Ipsos poll suggests Senator Bernie Sanders is not just the national frontrunner, he also may be considered the most electable. 34% saying he has the best chance of beating President Trump. This morning, amid criticism of his socialist ideas and claims he's a communist, Sanders defending his Medicare for All plan.
You hear from Trump, you hear from everybody. It's too radical. It can't be done. Gee, it is done in every other major country on earth.
The candidate who may surprise Saturday, billionaire businessman Tom Steyer, who's been sitting in third in state polls ahead of more nationally prominent candidates like Mayor Pete Buttigieg and Senator Elizabeth Warren. Meanwhile, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg continues his focus on Super Tuesday states, now just 4 days away from voting. But ultimately, the major storyline coming out of South Carolina will be the success or the failure of Joe Biden.
If he doesn't win in South Carolina, it could be the effective end of his campaign. He needs to win, and not just win, but win big.
flag. And with Super Tuesday looming, just about every candidate is planning to leave South Carolina before the results come in tomorrow night. Right now, the only candidates slated to stay, Tom Steyer and Joe Biden. Trevor Ault, ABC News, Columbia, South Carolina.
And now let's get your Storm Team 6 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory. And I'll tell you what, it was a blustery day all day today. You had to pull your coat tight.
Cold, snow showers.
Right.
Confirms it's winter, but the change is coming in 24 to 36 hours. So that's the big deal. You can see what happens. Temperatures tomorrow morning, as I mentioned, will be in the teens, but then the climb starts, and it's a significant, sustained climb. Temperatures well above average through the middle of next week. The warmth will come with an increasing chance for rain. Right now, the target for the heaviest rain seems to be south of the Ohio River, Kentucky and Tennessee, where they may see several inches of rain. For us now, it looks like we're on the lighter side of that. As far as the snow showers, they're quickly packing up and leaving, pushing south and east now. Seymour down to Louisville, Greensburg to Cincinnati. That's where most of the snow showers are left, but diminishing there as well. The drier air will take over, set the stage for the next event, which will be clouds beginning to break up, leading to our Saturday sunshine. Temperatures in the metro area all within a degree or two of each other in the middle to upper 20s, 24 in Peru, 30 in Bloomington, temperature in Evansville at 40 degrees. Thought I'd take a much broader view for you. You can see how the cold air has carved out its spot all the way down into northern portions of Georgia. This will be pushed out of the northeast U.S. once the wind shifts and comes out of the southwest. That will grab hold of warmer temperatures and pull those into the Hoosier State. Temperature 35 tomorrow, so still cold, well below average, but we step up a full 20 degrees for the second half of the weekend. Clouds will increase on Sunday, but I think we stay dry. Chance for rain arrives as we get closer to midnight Sunday night. Through the day tomorrow, lots of sunshine. The wind generally out of the west, anywhere from 10 to 15, 35 in the afternoon high temperature in Indianapolis. A little cooler to the north, warmer to the south, foreshadowing the warmer temperatures that will return during the day tomorrow. We'll start with a west-northwest wind, but watch what happens. Follow the arrows on Sunday out of the south and southwest. And rather strong. That will speed the warm up, and it will be a fairly quick transition from temperatures tomorrow morning in the teens all the way back into the 50s as we get to Sunday. Clouds increase, but the rain holds off, as I mentioned. Temperatures in the upper 50s in the southern portion of the state. Sunday, there are the clouds in place Sunday night. Here comes the shower activity overnight and into Monday morning. Keep our eye on the progress then of the heavier rain, but for now, it does look like it stays south of the Ohio River. Temperatures, when they do cool off, at least through Friday, only cool back into the 40s. That is an unwinter-like week.
Well, we deserve it, right?
Yeah.
All right, March just around the corner. Thanks, Kevin. We'll be right back right after this.
Use disorders, treatment, and recovery.
Well, a popular seasoning appears to have gone through a divorce. Mrs. Dash is now simply known as Dash. The company won't provide details of what prompted the move, except to say it refers to the speed one can use the salt-free seasoning.
In a Dash.
Hey, maybe Uncle Ben is available out there. Okay, you can get a free Egg McMuffin at McDonald's on Monday on the chain's inaugural National Egg McMuffin Day. It comes as the 50th anniversary of the Egg McMuffin approaches next year. To claim yours, you need to download the McDonald's app and create an account. Then show up at a McDonald's between 6 and 10:30 a.m. local time and claim yours. No purchase necessary. Turns out National Egg McMuffin Day just happens to be the same day Wendy's launches its breakfast menu across the U.S. Coincidence? Maybe. Hey, this is no magic trick. Veterinarians in Australia, look at that, pulled a beach towel out of a snake. The family who owns Monty says she ate the entire towel the night before, so they brought her to the small animal specialist hospital. Vets were able to find the missing item in the python's stomach using an endoscope. Wow. Then they use long forceps to grasp the towel and safely remove it. Monty is now back home, and her owner says she is back to normal. Once a snake eats something, it's done.
That's wild. What did you say?
Once a snake eats something, it's done.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Well, not in that case. They got a recovery. 55 temperatures recover to Sunday.
I'll see you back here tonight at 11, everybody.